Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to the live show of talking through my year in review for 2024. So I was going to film a video and do this and talk it all through, but I've really enjoyed just doing this live because it makes my life so much easier in talking through stats. I don't have to put up the image and take screenshots. I can just do it as we go. So I am live to talk through my reading in 2024 and just, have some nerdy study times. So welcome. Hello, Bird. Hello, Tracy. How are we this evening? I just finished the book that I was reading and gave it a whopping 2 stars. So starting out really good. I think everyone's going to get a surprise when they start seeing my vlogs and wrap-ups because I have actually discovered my rating scale for this year and I am a wee bit critical, so my bad. Not critical, just understanding what my needs are as a reader. So that's always a good time. And yes, very good today. I finished Iron Flame today, 4.25. Yay! I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. And now you're ready to go for Onyx Storm. It's a happening. My 2024 reading was so up and down. In April, my life pretty much fell apart and didn't read until June, then had 2 months of low reads. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope 2025 goes on a much better trajectory for you and you can just enjoy what you read in life, not being a shit show. I'm so keen for Onyx Storm. Yay! I'm so happy for you, Tracy. I haven't read any of the Imperium series, so I don't know if I will. I probably would enjoy it, but I just haven't bit that bullet yet. I'm thinking I might also, I'll put the vlogging camera on, but because I finished my book, I got to do the next one for the Patreon. So this jar is huge. So, yes. Feel free to grab a cup of tea or a beverage or ice cream of some description. And yeah, we'll just talk through the stats when we're ready. I'm just had a good start to the year, so feeling in a really positive headspace. That's fair. You might be better to wait till they're all out anyway. Yeah, we know what I'm like with series. I can't wait to just berate myself on camera for the series diaries of 2024, which we'll see. Hola. Hello. I haven't had a good start to 2025 reading or otherwise, but hoping things will improve soon. I hope so for you too. Tracy is also bad with series. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone. Hello. So, I'm just loading up. I can't commit to any more big series right now. I have so many I need to finish. Unless I'm reading them for a challenge or a buddy read, I'm not starting any until I finish. I wish you best of lucks with that. I would like to be in the same boat, but the TBR had other plans, and I have already started 3 new series this month. I'm sorry, but I hope things get better. Thanks, Tracy. I've had a couple of mares in 2025, but I've also already had a 5-star. Yay! Me too. So I'm actually using Corpile this year, which is like weird. And it came out as a 4.5, but because of the enjoyment, I'm like, no, this is a 5-star read. Like, hands down, loving life. I'm terrible with series. I have so many on the go. I need to DNF some, to be honest. So when I do my series video for 2024, there are quite a few series on there that I've already highlighted that I should DNF them to be able to get the series spreadsheet down by 25% by the end of the year if I don't actually manage to do that. So I've got a few sneaky ones up my sleeves that I'm fully planning on DNFing, but I was like, I'm not DNFing it in 2024 because I'm going to need all the help I can get to get there in 2025. My first book was a 5-star this year, but I knew that because it was a reread. That is a good way to go about it, though. Like, honestly, I love that. I like using Corpile for NetGalley when I'm reviewing fiction. That makes sense. I decided that I wanted to be able to be more articulate in my reads and my reviews and stuff like that, which is really funny because the book that I've just finished, the articulation is not strong with that one because I had zero interest in it. But I'm actually feeling more confident in the reviews that I've done. They're short as shit, but I don't know. It's working better. So it's going good. All I've read so far is Ascendance of a Bookworm, and they're all 4 and 5-star reads for me. So I'm winning. Lol. Yay! I will reread books this year. I have so many favorites, but I rarely reread them. You do that. You enjoy every minute of rereading those. Finally, on the last book of the series that I read before I stopped reading, so no new releases. I'm excited to keep going. 23 out of 33 currently. Woo! Goodness gracious. Best of luck. Alrighty. Well, if you guys are happy to, we'll jump into the stats and then we can just fuck around. Like, I don't have to go over this in a lot of detail. I just wanted to pull the information. So I'm going to scoop myself down the bottom and then zoom in, squidgy. So I also have comparing my reading years between 2022, 2023, and 2024. I think 2021 might be on there. Yeah. But hey, man, we'll see. Jump over there. Okay. The series is complete. It's been like 2.5 months of me reading this from the start back to back. Whoo, Lordy. Proud of you. We know you're a stats nerd. I just really like stats. And like, I approach this in a completely, it's all fine. I've read what I read and I'm super happy with what I've read. These are just the numbers. I don't put any moral stance on it. I don't berate myself for one way or the other. I might make comments about things, but it all is from a place of neutrality. I do not mind at all. Like, for my lowest in that, we are in a dilemma right now where a cat has adopted us for nighttime foodies. Ooh, have fun with that one. Sounds exciting. You know, just a friendly friend. I wonder if there's a circle back. Oh, look at that. Oh, and I can move myself. Who would have thunk it? If you're reading stats, I need tea. I will get tea. Excellent. Just randomly saying that as a tangent. Fair enough. And cake. Yes, do cake. I've already finished 9 out of 10 books this year, and it's only the 9th of Jan, so I'm doing well. You're doing fantastically. Look at my little bubble. I technically could do. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if it's going to be easier to move. Woo. myself to another location. Yeah, cancel. This guy. That's all right. I can stay down here. I second cake. Do it. Okie dokies. So, in 2024, I read 158 books, which I am very, very happy with. Do it. Both. All of the above. Thank you. I believe this is Ali from Hardback Hoarders 2021 edition, but with a lot of customizations thanks to Erin from Sheba and Shelves, because I like stats, but I'm shit at Excel. So, yes. I know she is now offering a paid version or a really cheap version. I don't know about, and they've got extra lots of pages. I've just customized it to suit my needs. But like the books read, I just have month read, main genre, audience. I've separated the series into like caught up, DNF, started but DNF'd, started manga, and then you can put them in. And then format, listen via, publication, author status, read from, reread, start and end dates, and then days it took to read. So that's this one. I lowered my goal to 80 this year. I've got some chonkers. That's fair. That is fair. My goal was 5 books. Already hit that, so now I can chill with no pressure. Amazing. I set my Goodreads at 52, and I'd like to keep it at that. I know that I will probably exceed that, but if life happens, I'm just going to give myself a little bit of grace. So, yeah. I put my reading goal as 100 on here, and I can't remember what I put it on my spreadsheet for 2025. I think it might be 100 because I might have kept it the same as this. So, yeah. So, yes, I read 52,490 pages, which equated to the average length per book being 332 pages. And it took me, and I read roughly 143 pages a day. I believe in you. Well, life is definitely happening for you this year, so good choice. Yeah, a lot of life, but it's good. It's very, very good. This year I used the Libby app and like Audible to tell me roughly how long I listened to. And whilst I didn't put in the exact amount, I then rounded it up or rounded it down to the nearest half hour. So that's how we've got 520 hours there. I did start off listening to my audiobooks on 2.5 times speed because I was like, I'm not taking it in, listening to it on 3 times speed. And then September and December happened, and yeah, it went back up to 3 times speed, which is fine. I had 1 reread, and I acquired 74 books, which is technically up from last year, but completely fine with that. Then for books read per month, that looks better. My lowest reading month was in May with 6 books, which isn't surprising. When I went to Fiji with Ash and his family, I just did not read. I was in such a slump. I didn't touch a book, and then I think the one that I did touch, it was the second Georgia Nicholson, and decided to DNF that series and left it over in Fiji. And then Sufferathon happened in September, so I ended up reading 22 books for that. But usually I hit at least 10 books a month, so very happy with that. And then my pages, my lowest makes sense with May at 1,872 pages, with December being my highest of 6,052. I was determined to hit 1 month with 6,000 pages. September, I also read 150 pages on top of that, but it didn't count in September stats because I put it in for my October read. My format is not surprising to anyone. I read 52.8% physical and audiobook combinations. I gave up listening to audiobooks while reading along with the ebook. I read 30 books physically, which is great for me. I'm just looking at the comparison. So I read 26 last year and 15. So, and 48 in 2021. Who was I? Was that during COVID? Yeah, that was. I'm sorry, I've slowly increased my physical reading, which I'm so happy with. My ebooks was 10, and I listened to 25 pure audiobooks. I really got into just listening to audios this year instead of trying to physically read along. I was just like, fuck it. I'm just listening to the audiobook. I'm not even going to try and pretend that I'm reading along with a book because I'm not. My audience was 52.5% adult, 27.2% YA, 12.7% new adult, and 7.6% middle grade. I think new adult was Giant Days graphic novels, and I sort of found the right niche for me for what I classified as new adult. Oh yeah, also Full Metal Alchemist, Escaping from Houdini, Dead Poets Society. So yeah, I've really found what I felt sat well with a new adult title for me this year, which was nice. Because every year adult has started encroaching. In 2021, I had more YA than adult titles, and then 2022, we went 72 adult, 52 YA, and 49 middle grade. That's nuts. So yeah, it's interesting seeing it change throughout the years. So, but I'm happy with how that's looking. And then read from, I am thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled that 28.5% of this was from my library. That is just pure audiobooks from Libby, but that is also reading from my local library. I'm so happy with that because I still managed to read 44.9% of the books from my backlist and 17.1% of my 2024 acquisitions. So reading off my TBR was 62% of my reads. And 25% of that was library books. Like, yes, I'm really, really happy with that. Last year, oh my God, I read the same amount of library books this year as last year. That's so funny. But yeah, it was finding the right balance for things. Turns out I still read quite a bit from my library nowadays. But I'm really happy with that. I have, for the most part, totally outgrown YA. I would say 80% adult, 15% new adult, and 5% YA. I think I will hit there eventually. There was just a few little things that had me locked into a YA title for this year, which was completely fine. I know I at some point did a breakdown of like my ratings per age category. I haven't done it for that one because that required more brain cells than I currently have. But yeah, there were a few books that had been on my TBR for a while, like An Arrow to the Moon and The Black Kids, and The Winter Duke, that definitely felt more YA. Then I continued with the Folk of the Air series. I started Soul Eater, the Graceling series. I was reading those for Bookish Peeps. And then, yeah, I just had a lot of series on the go that were YA. So I just kept chipping away at them. And I don't dislike them. It depends on how it all plays out at the end, but for the most part, it's okay. I'm using my local library more this year. Yay! I only need to buy books I loved from there. Yes, or I can just return them to a library and never think about them again. Very nice. I fully wish I had that capability for some of the books that I read last year. Instead of being off my TBR. I'd be curious to see what my physical TBR rating was in comparison to my library reads and how my rating system was, what was like rated higher. That would actually be kind of fun. I might look at doing that stats at some point. Could probably just do a spreadsheet. If we go, we'll go read from clear, we'll go 2024 acquisitions. Get my ratings. Okay. Oh, bothers. Copy. No, sir, copy. Copy. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. There we go. What was that? 2024 acquisitions. And we got that. We'll go. Really? Read from. Nope. Clear. We'll go. Backlist. There was a few of those. I'll be very, very curious to see what this actually is. And then the library. Apologies for the flicking between the different formats. I'm just curious. I think this intrigues me more than the age category at the moment. It's where. Okay, so we have. We should have. Okay, really stats. Some, and then divided by 27. So 4.61 for my 2024 acquisitions. That's not half bad. My backlist was 71. Ooh, 4.2 for my backlist. So previous me knew myself better. And then my library. How the hell is Wuthering Heights not in there? Oh, that's right, because right. Even with a 1 star, how is that higher? What are we? 46. Library, 45 library reads. 4.3. Interesting. So my library reads are usually higher. Who would have thunk it? Tracy found that they don't have much interest in middle grade. That's fair. I miss my middle grade love. Like, there was so much that I adored. So I'm sad that I no longer have the same nostalgic vibe to it. Sometimes my autism brain just needs middle grade because it's all I could understand. Perfect. That's completely fine. It's nice to be able to find and know that you've got something that you can always go to. I read just over 85% adult last year with a few YA and middle grade reads. I'm just old. God bless you, but when my autism takes over, I usually have to go back to the famous 5 to almost relearn how to read. Oh, goodness. I tried signing up to Libby, BorrowBox, whatever it was that Australian uses, and my library had absolutely nothing available that I wanted to read. I probably need to pop in and check it out physically. Hopefully you'll be able to find something, but that's unfortunate that the ebook selection was very disappointing though. Oh, that's no fun. I still read a lot of YA, but it mostly comes with some sort of rep. Yep, that's fair. I read some from Libby, but my library often doesn't have the things I'm interested in. The physical catalogue is better, but actually going in and borrowing books is a no from me. That's fair enough. I work at my local library, so I am very excited to go in and just do the stuff. My system for the library is go online and reserve books and go in and pick them up. And then I only have to deal with the librarians to check them out and leave because I get stressed with that many options. My library, we can reserve them and then we have self-checkout. So we don't even have to talk to people if we don't want to. I have no interest in middle grade anymore. Half the time I can't even read YA. If it's aimed at young YA, I can't stomach it. It annoys me. I definitely have started reading, or I had a couple of reads this year, like the Iron Fae series, where the protagonist was just so YA angsty, and I was like, this is not what I'm here to read anymore. I have grown so much from that point in my life, and I appreciate that mini me really needed to go through that angst. But current adult me, I'm good. But, there's still a market out there, and I think that if it's not your vibe, it's not your vibe, and that's totally cool. I'm so happy I canceled my Scribd account. I can't believe I didn't read a single NetGalley book last year. That's hilarious. I just gave up. I always read YA, and I'm like, was I ever this annoying? I always read YA and go, oh dear God, yeah, I was that annoying. I am painfully aware of my tendencies, but not mad. Just is the way that cookie crumbled. Shit. I can't believe Audible crept up again this year. I was trying really hard to move away from it, and then I just got stuck. I love that, like, in 2021, is that what I'm staring at? I really should freeze the total bar so then I can know what bloody year I'm looking at. There we go. Look at me. I just adjust it once and it's right. 2021, I read 33% of my reads from Scribd and 35% of them from Audible and 11% from Libby. What the hell? Who am I? I know that this age, I'm annoying. I don't know if I started when I was younger. But, we don't always have to have the answer to that. And I'm sure, like, I know that people would think that my personality is an acquired taste, or I might come across as annoying, or whatever the case may be. But I also feel like if you can find your people that embrace your weirdness, it no longer feels like you're annoying because they get it. They know that it's not, trying to be annoying. It's just who you are and your little brand of chaos. And having found a lot of those people and fostering a community that gets that has been delightful, because it really does shift the perspective from feeling like, oh my God, I'm so annoying. Like, I don't want to interact with others because I know that I am, to just, I've got my quirks. I have my hyperfixations. Sometimes I just don't shut the fuck up. But my people just embrace me for it and they roll with it. And if they need to pull me up on it, they can. But it's never done with the thought of I'm being annoying and they're done with me. They're just needing to do something else. And I'm currently a blockade to being able to do that. So I hope that, however it shapes, that you can find that. Oh, it's the best. I love that. Like, I was talking to my psychiatrist the other month, and I was like, on a weekend, if I'm in decision paralysis, I would just feel everything and nothing at once. And it's the most annoying, painful experience, but that's my experience. And he's like, that is an interesting way of experiencing the world. And I'm like, thanks. I don't think you meant that as a compliment. But it's also, I'm dating Ash, who's autistic as shit, and he can talk to me for 3 hours about anything that has taken his passion. And unless I have to go do something, like, I have a live scheduled or need to be doing an important task that's going to help us in the future, I won't stop him. I'll sit and listen to it. I might have heard it 4 times over, but seeing him get passionate about it each and every time makes me happy. So I hope that there are people that can do that for you, because I like it. I like having people that want to talk about everything and nothing, and it can be trivial or it could be deep and meaningful. It can be whatever you need it to be. And I'm here for that. So, yeah. I think it's an excellent talent to have. Also, like, I'm going live talking about reading stats for a fucking half an hour and a whatever. Like, I can talk about everything and nothing too. You're a good girlfriend. I tell people they've told me something before if I don't want to hear it again and move the conversation on. I've told Ash before, and like, I've done it myself. My parents do it to me all the time as well. And I'll say, yeah, you've told me that one, but if you want to keep talking about it, I'm happy to hear it again. So. Hello! I am well. How are you? Another Erin. Oh my gosh. They're invading my stream. Glad to have you both. I think my best friend pretends to listen to me, and I appreciate it because she lets me talk and just get it out of my system. That is a good best friend. That's okay. You don't have to. I'm happy to do that. Hi, Erin. Erin says hi. Hi, Erin. My series. What is this? What is this monstrosity of 35% of my fucking grades being standalones? Where did you come from? I don't like you. Fuck off. Oh, Lord in heaven, help me. It's getting worse. I'm trying to get better, but it's getting worse. So this is the one that I'm speaking critically to myself about, but I'm also not changing anything about it. It's just, is what I think of that. I started 20 new series and 2 manga series. I finished 19 and I caught up with 8. So I'm really teetering on the end of friendship right now with that one. I mean, standalones are good. Standalones means less series to keep up with. I know. It's glorious to not have to worry about continuing. It's just when I look at 2023, for this year, I read 52 continuations and series, caught up on 8 and finished 19. In 2023, I continued with 58. I caught up on 14 and I finished 20 and read 49 standalones. Like, that is the sort of balance that makes me feel good, because I feel like I'm actually getting through the series. I have so many I've started. I need to keep chipping away at them, which is why it's like, why are there so many standalones? I have so many series to read. But it is nice also then not having to think about shit about it another one. So, yeah. But can't be helped. Cannot be helped. My problem with series is I take too long to continue, which means I need to reread the ones before, and that's just too much work, so I get scared and put them down. Yeah. I learned a valuable lesson about that this year with reading The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, because I didn't go back and read The Poppy War because I did not want to put myself through that trauma again and have to read another 500-page book on top of the 2 600-page books I was going to have to read. And then I read the 2 of them, and then I didn't care because I didn't remember the characters. And so it was a really disappointing conclusion for me. And I'm like, I fucked up. So it's a valuable lesson to me for series that if I do start a chunky epic fantasy, do look up a refresher and actually get reinvested in the world before continuing. There are some that I definitely can just continue on with, no if, buts, or otherwise. I'm just trying to fresh my brain on what one of them might have actually been, because they have seemed to go waltzing out my ears. What have I done? Like, especially, well, ones that are more companion, like Aristotle and Dante. I could happily dive into the Binti series again. I shouldn't have redove into the Tenseret series. I should have reread that. I'm curious about diving into Middle Game for that. I think I'm going to struggle with the Obelisk Gate. I really should reread the 5th season, same as Gideon the Ninth, but I really don't want to do that. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Tracy can't even finish duologies or trilogies. That's fine. Well, we just do what we can and we read what we can. Yes, this is me. Especially if a series doesn't grip me, I get easily distracted. It's like, yep. Oh my god, Paige, I'm still reading The Poppy War, and I might have bought a special edition of The Poppy War from QBD. It's pretty. There's lots of flames. Yeah, they are stunning. I really, really love those editions. I've seen them, and I think Ash will really enjoy the series, so I'd be happy to get it for him. But personally, for me, I just, yeah. But I do love fire. I'm like the little kid. Someone gave me fire. And then another one that I'm like, oh man, but also neutral about is my pages range breakdown. I did not read too many chunky things, but I still read some. I think there was 18 that were over, 500 pages. 72 between 3 to 499, and then 68 that were less than 300. And that's fine. I had a lot of fun with publication years this year. I finally got this table to do what I want it to do, so it automatically populates in order, which is amazing. But I obviously don't read a lot of older things. But then we got 2000. I skipped 2001. 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I read one from 2022 to 2025. I missed 2021, but that's okay. That's so funny. Maybe this year I'll see if I can manage to do it. Like, not going to actively try, but I can. Give it a go. It's just making me really happy. 2025 book trailer. No, you like that. I have read a whopping total of 2019, 2015, and 2012. Very good. Well, at least you're not like David, who thought setting fire to our apartment in London was a great idea when he was trying to get the alcohol we were using to get paint off the floor to dry faster. For a chef, he has his moments. Oh, goodness gracious. But that also is kind of hilarious, not gonna lie. Do you guys have a leaning for new to you or read before authors. Obviously, if this isn't something you track, that's fine, but I just thought it would be interesting to ask. I always lean more to read before than new to me. Keeping up with new releases is way too much work. Oh my gosh, that was me 2021 to 2023. I was trying to do my diddly darndest, and then I just gave up. I'm like, fuck this shit. Like, I have so many things on my shelves to read. I'm not. And I've read a couple of new releases and obviously an arc for 2025, but I am going to struggle this year because there are so many good things coming out that I want my grubby little hands on. Oh, it's funny now. It wasn't so funny when I heard a woof and walked back into the room to find flames licking up the walls. Yes, I can imagine that would have been petrifying, but I'm glad that we can laugh about it now and no one lost any eyebrows. I prefer read before. I'm more likely to read them quicker than new. That's fair. I think for me, some of the times it was like I wanted to sort of branch out and find something other than my comfort authors, but I do that. Like, I read 54 new to me authors, so I do step outside of my comfort zone. So if I want to stay just reading read before, I'm also fine. Erin kept all their eyebrows, which is great, but David has been banned from playing with matches. Yes. Oh dear. Yeah, so this is genre. Do you guys have a predominant genre? I do fantasy, which is so nice seeing this stat not skewed by Animorphs. I think it was halfway through 2023 that I finished with Animorphs. So I was like, oh my God, this is great. Yeah, because 15% of my reads in 2023 was sci-fi. Sci-fi didn't even get a look in this year. It's somewhere here. I read 5 instead of 25. That was the year before. Yep. I don't like to read when it comes to... I don't like read before when it comes to 5 stars because I'm scared the next books won't be as good. That is fair. I have a tendency to follow a author bias. So like if I've read a couple of things by them and give them 5 stars, then everything's going to be 5 stars. Fantasy and romantasy, very nice. Definitely romance followed by romantasy. I have not tipped my toe into the romantasy genre yet. I don't think. I'm sure I've read some, but like not the titles that I keep hearing. Oh God, you read Animorphs. How many books is that? 70 something? I think there was 50. Too many. Yeah, there was a lot. Let me, if I can find it, because I think I started rereading them in 2022. Yes, and then where do we am? And we end up. Yep, 54. 54. That was many. That was 34 fantasy and 19% sci-fi. Then everything else. Fair enough. Yeah. That's mine's manga. I read 15 and contemporary 16 and then graphic novel 7. I read 7%. I read 7 horror. That is nuts. Who am I? 10 nonfiction. Look at me. Yeah. You should. There's some good spice out there. I can imagine. I like thrillers and contemporary. I find fantasy confusing because there's so much happening really fast, then nothing happens for a while. I can feel that in my soul. I am thinking of many fantasy series that have done that to me. So completely understand the thrillers and contemporaries. I could never find the next book in the series with Animorphs, so I ended up skipping a few and reading them in random orders from the school library. Surprisingly, still makes sense because every single book has a recap at the beginning of them. And when you're reading 10 in a month, that recap is drilled into here. Think I can remember how to review a book? No. Think I can remember the start of the Animorph series? Fucking oath. Do I want this information in my head? No. Am I going to be stuck with it for all eternity? Yes. Yes, I am. Just a wee bit. It wasn't traumatic at all. I could. But I was always listening to the audiobooks, and so just put it on 3.5 times speed and prayed for the light of speed mercy. I don't know why I'm such a completionist with that. It's like, I wasn't even listening to it, but I had to listen to it. She's a nutter. But this is a nice, delightful pie chart that is no longer affected by Animorphs. And that fills me with joy. I just realized 4 of those the sci-fi were Ice Planet Barbarians. Fuck. I'm never going to be able to escape this bullshit. I've just upgraded. Like, literally, Ice Planet Barbarians is adult Animorphs. They're both blue aliens. I can't remember what I was going to do. Yeah. I believe I read as many as I could in 2022. I think I got about halfway, and then I was having an existential crisis and just like make it stop. So I read up to book 35 in 2022, and then I read the remaining. Whoop, that was not the button I wanted to hit. The remaining in 2023, and I think I split it up that I was reading like 3 a month till I finished. I put it on my, did I put it on my spreadsheet as sci-fi? I'm pretty sure I put it on mine as sci-fi. Barbarian mine. Yeah, I seem to have. Although I wouldn't trust, like, I have a tendency to fluctuate. I know, I put off. Yeah, I only read 1 legitimate sci-fi book. Oh, well, that's all right. Can't be helped. I would have counted it as Monster Smart or Alien Smart. I could have put it as erotica. Like, that really, it fits a category more than sci-fi. But we're here. The only time I can't do a book at double speed is fantasy because I need to go at normal speed to understand what's going on. Completely fair. That makes total sense. I definitely need to slow down my fantasies to be able to ensure that I can understand the world. Will I? Yeah. Hefty. I'll try. Cool. And my last little stats are my ratings. So I had 38% of my reads be 4 stars, which I'm happy with. 23% 4.5 and 27.2% 5 stars. Although I have done a copy of this. My average rating was 4.3 and gone and reflected on my ratings, and if that was to reflect a little bit more accurate now that I've sat away from my reads and thought about it a little bit more critically. Yeah, not go. There we go. The pie chart's a little different. Oh shit, no, that's taking down because I ended up moving all of my 5-star reads down to 4.2. 4.5 if I needed them out of the ranking, so then I could figure out what my actual best book of the year was. So then that's not entirely accurate. So yeah, that's a jolly good time. It's what it is. Can't be helped. I just do what I can. No, that stayed in. So, yes. Very interesting seeing the differences between them. But I am still happy with my reads and what I did get accomplished. Actually, what I might do is click out that and put my 5-star reads. So then I can just go through and adjust those really quickly so then I can do an accurate thingamabobby whoosy what's it. Full spade. That's time and don't ruin. It's like white times, cases of missing Mr. Beans, blood on the tide, kiss quotient, no, darling, no, last book wanderer, what moves the dead stayed, lighthouse, yes, Thursday murder, no. Full Metal, absolutely. Everyone in my family, no. Hideout, no. Disability, yes. Head case, no. Yeah. Interesting. It's very interesting how we see things at a later point that are what we do and don't expect. Jack Trice, beautiful. And Girls Captive. Winners Speak. Giant Ace. Come tumbling down. No. Obsidian, no. Earthlings, heh. Squire, yes. Bridget Daughter, Breeding Sweetgrass, Dragon Keeper, House with Good Bonds. Matilda Dark Restraint. The Bullet Missed. Apologies. I will be only 2 more moments. And then I will have a better. There we go. Excellent. Select all. Okay. And select all. Okay. There we go. Apologies. I'm going to have to go. My support worker is due any minute. I'll watch the rest back later. Bye. Have fun. And oh god, I bought some new perfumes which arrived today, and dear god, they smell divine. I'm wearing like 5 different perfumes currently, so each part of my body I sniff smells different. Fragrant oils are something I've never used before, so keen to play with them and find out different ways to wear them. Oh, very nice. Going on nearly 9 hours and I can still smell them, which is much better than what I normally get from normal perfumes. Very nice. Though now I'm getting a ton of recommendations for Arabian perfumes. Admittedly, I put a lot on my wish list. They sound amazing, but I need to not buy more for a while. Oh. Is that Psyche, the one by Kate Forsyth? Yes, I have a whole series by her that I've accidentally collected without reading any. So if that's her, it's good to see a good rating for her writing. This was the first thing I read by her and absolutely loved it. And I've said, I haven't heard anything. I haven't read any others. And everyone's like, yeah, no, she is a fantastic writer. So a lot of people spoke very highly about her writing. I heard Psyche has had pretty good reviews, but what I've heard is it's one of those series you either love or hate. There's no in between. Interesting. The series I have from her is completely different. It's an old epic fantasy series, but I'm glad to hear her writing is good. Yeah. I'd be very curious to see how it all compares. Oh, sorry. I just want to do this for myself so I have it as a frame of reference. I'm going to put my wheel here. So this is my biased wheel, shall we say. And can I... Yeah, beautiful. This is my non-biased wheel. So 26% of my reads are 5 stars, which is great to know that my 5 stars are still 5 stars. 20% of my reads are 4.5 instead of 23%. 19% of my reads are 4 stars instead of 38%. My 3 stars are 21.5% instead of 8.9. My 3 stars are 3.2%. My 2.5 is 6.3%. My 2 stars are 2.5, and my 1 star is 0.6%, which is still accurate. But yes, the ratings definitely change astronomically when I do figure out my biases. So I love that it's so just leaning one way and then the other one's like genuinely balanced, I'd say. So that's very entertaining for me. So what I'm saying is you need to learn to DNF books early on in 2025. And that would be accurate. But I've already read 3 books out of the 5 books this month that I should have DNF'd. I didn't, for 2 of them, I'm actually happy that I persevered through, and they weren't bad reads. It was just a slow start. And then I just finished reading a classic, which I should have just DNF'd. Yeah. So, yes, that's all my stats. Like, I've got the my book sport and 54% read. Yeah. I was quite bad with my gifts this year though. I didn't read. Normally I'm at 50% read for my gifts and like 33% of my bought books lower. But I think I was buying with a purpose. So yeah. I spent $395.34, which I'm fine with. And then 55% of my books had some kind of wrap, which I'm so happy with. I'm incrementally building it up. I'm so happy because, like, I bought all of Robin Hobb, well, not all of Robin Hobb, but a lot of Hobby, and that's not wrap. And I still managed to keep it balanced, so... No, August, July, there wasn't any wrap, but they were smaller quantities. So a couple of those, felt good. The problem is by the time I realized I should have DNF'd, I'm in too deep and just finish it at that point. I struggled because I set up in my bullet journal to do track per pages read per day, which I've never done before. And I get to use a particular colored dot if I do over 200 pages. And then because I was so determined to get the most amount of books read I could in this Read It or Unhaul It series, I have hit over 200 pages a day. Every day this year so far. So I now have this momentum going, and yeah, it is 9 days in, and I have read nearly 2,000 pages. What the actual fuck? Who am I? My God, that's way too much work. Fair enough. I don't DNF very often, but I don't feel like that's a problem for me. I very rarely finish something and think I should have DNF that. Yep. Pitiful. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot that I was a circle. Let me adjust myself again. How do I do this again? I've forgotten what I'm doing. Style? Yes, that's right. There we go. Me? No. I don't. I want the purple, but I don't want the... Okay. That's fine. Be mean. Nope, not square. Thank you. There we go. Much better. Apologies. So, yeah. Then that was everything I have. I hope you found this interesting. And on this episode of Page vs. Technology, I am persevering. I will be victorious. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to go shower and then play chemist and create a new concoction so I can stink out the sheets for the night. Sounds marvelous. I am going to go take my tablet, have an ice cream, and yes. So I'm very excited. But thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you found this entertaining or informative or just, something. I'm so happy to be able to recap this in a way that feels really good. So, good night. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.